Hi there, thank you so much for clicking on this video. My name is Mo and I make videos about my Christian faith, and I also help internationally trained lawyers cross the hurdle of becoming licensed to practice law in Canada. If this is your first time joining my channel, I'm so glad you clicked. Thank you for joining, and if you're a returning subscriber, you know I have nothing but love for you. Consider subscribing to this channel if you like the type of content that I create. Also share if you think it's helpful. So let's get right into today's video. How much do lawyers in Canada earn? So I made a video about this last year, and that is actually my most viewed video, but a lot of people left comments and said I didn't actually do justice to these videos, so I'm doing it again. So before I go into how much lawyers earn, I would like to talk about the factors that determine how much lawyers earn in Canada, because there are several factors that determine how much lawyers earn, and I believe I should be talking about these things. So the first thing is the city you are practicing in. So let's face it, Toronto, I live in Ontario, I live in London, Ontario, and I'm practicing in London, Ontario, but I used to live in Toronto and I have an idea of how things work in Toronto. So a lot of people want to go to Toronto because the big companies are there, that's where the money is, and that's what everybody says. There's a bit of truth to that. And so if you are working in Toronto or you're working in Bay Street law firm, you are likely going to earn more than a lawyer working with boutique law firm in London, Ontario, and that's just the truth. So the city you are based in determines how much money you earn. So if you're going to smaller cities like Woodstock, St. Catharines, and other smaller cities, you are likely to earn less than lawyers who are working in Bay Street law firms and those big law firms. So that is one factor. The second factor is your year of call. So obviously, I've been practicing law for about 2 years now. You can't compare my salary to someone who has been practicing law for 10 years or even for 5 years. So if you're a senior associate, you're obviously going to be paid more than a junior associate or a first year call, and that's just the way it is. Third factor that sort of determines how much lawyers earn is the type of law that you practice. And I did a video on my YouTube channel. I'll put the link to the video in my description box, and I'll also link it somewhere left or right. I'm not sure how that works, but I'll link it. In that video, I spoke about the areas of law that are in demand in Canada, and so I mentioned some laws: corporate law, medical law, laws that are in demand. So there are some areas of law that if you practice, you're obviously going to make more money than other areas of law. For example, you can't compare corporate law or business law or medical law to a lawyer who works for a legal aid. No shade or anything, but I'm just saying it the way it is. So the area of law you practice actually matters. Another factor that sort of determines how much you earn is the type of law firm you are working with. And I think I've sort of touched on this. I'll go back to the popular example. If you're working on Bay Street, you're probably going to earn more than someone who is working in a boutique law firm or in a very small law firm that has about 2 lawyers or 3 lawyers. They are just starting out. They are not going to pay you as much as, or they may, but the probabilities are slim. So these are some of the factors that determine how much you earn, and I believe it's important to talk about these things before we jump into how much lawyers actually earn. If you're enjoying this video and you like to see more of this content, make sure you subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. It actually helps me know what type of videos people like, and also don't forget to leave in the comment section what sort of law videos you want me to do. This is particularly for ITLs. So moving on to how much lawyers earn. So I did a quick Google search and I got this information from talent.com, and it says that the average lawyer salary in Canada for first year associates. So right now I'm not talking about second year associates or third year associates. I'm talking about base level salary. You just got called and you're looking to know how much lawyers in Canada earn. So the average salary is about $98,000 annually, or $50 per hour. That's neat, right? So remember the factors I spoke about. So what this means is that some lawyers actually earn less than this and some earn more than this. Now we're still talking about first year associates. It says the average. So I also found on that website that some lawyers earn about $71,000. Again, you have to consider all the factors I've spoken about, the city, the type of law you're practicing, the type of law firm you're with, and obviously your year of call. And some first year associates actually earn about $120,000 to $130,000 annually. That's actually sweet. Now, that same website says that if you are a second year associate, you should be looking at earning about $130,000 and above. That's the average, again, which means that some lawyers will earn less than that and some lawyers might earn more than that. So if you're going to be taking home about $110,000 to $130,000 annually, you need to know that this comes with a price. This comes with hard work. Obviously, if you're earning less than that, you're still going to put in a lot of hard work, but if you're earning more, you're going to work harder. That's how I see it. So this comes with a lot of billable hours and a lot of late nights, a lot of sacrificed weekends, and it just comes with a lot of work. So if you are looking at, earning that amount of money, you should be looking at also putting in the work, because it is a lot of work. Another thing I wanted to discuss is tax. Before we talk about taxes, I believe this is a good time to talk about the articling checklist that I have made with love for ITLs. The articling checklist is free. You don't have to pay for the checklist. I talk about the steps you should take while preparing for articling. I highlight all the steps, and I also go further by explaining the steps as well. Another beautiful thing that I did was I created a table listing out all the provinces in Canada and all the territories, and I explained how many months it takes to article in this province and the licensing requirements in each province, because it's different, right? I got licensed to practice law in Ontario. It's different in Alberta. It's different in all the other provinces. So I took my time to highlight all the requirements, to highlight how many months, to highlight what you need to do, to explain all the steps, to explain the websites you need to go to in order to apply for articling. And I put together a lot of beautiful information if you're interested in articling. So make sure you click on the link in the description box to download your articling checklist. So going back to talking about taxes, this is a very important part of Canada, taxes. So once you are getting a salary, your salary is going to be taxed, and in Canada, the higher you earn, the more taxes you pay. So for example, if you are earning about $70,000, your take home is going to be about $52,000, which when you think about isn't really the best, but it is what it is. If you are earning about $100,000, so your take home will be about $60,000 to $70,000 annually. And I say this because there's a range, because different organizations charge other fees as well. So it's not just your taxes that go out of your payroll. You have the CPP, that's the Canadian Planned Pension, I believe. If I'm wrong, I will correct myself on the screen. There's also EI. There are also some other things like pension. For example, if you work for a municipality, there's something called OMERS, and that's the pension plan the municipality has. And if you work for the healthcare system as well, they call theirs HOOP. So there are different pension plans that also come out of your salary. So at the end of the day, your $100,000 annually is about $70,000 or $60,000, depending on the type of deductions that come out of your paycheck. So I'm just saying this so you can know how to put things in perspective. So when I'm saying $130,000, you're not thinking I'm taking home $130,000. That is not the case. And the higher you earn, you get to a higher tax bracket. That means that the government will tax you more. So it is important to pay attention to the fact that taxes and other deductions also apply to the salary as well. I hope you have gained value from this video, and don't forget that I said that this is like the base salary. And the shocking thing is some lawyers might actually earn less than $70,000 annually. Again, it depends on the law firm you're working with. It actually depends. Also remember that when you become a second year associate or a third year associate, the salary increases as well. So you take home more money, obviously bearing in mind all the deductions. I believe this is a good time to talk about my ebook, which is called the NCA Starter Pack. If you are confused about the process of how to become licensed in Canada, I have put together an ebook for you, and I highlight everything you need to do, the links you need to follow. I just put everything together in love for you, and once you read it, you'll understand how the NCA exams work, what you need to do, and the process you need to take in order to start the journey of becoming licensed to practice law. That isn't free and you can purchase your copy by clicking on the link in the description box. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.